Hey guys, it's Heather the Crochet Witch. How are you guys doing today? Excuse me. Mr. Maverick here is co-hosting, but he has his favorite toy ever currently, so he's unable to join us on camera. I'm sure you can probably hear him munching at it, and you'll notice once in a while I have to monitor him to make sure he's not pulling off big chunks of it because he really likes it. I don't know where I was going with the he part. Anyway, sorry. I wanted to talk to you today because, and this is not sponsored in any way. I'm just super excited about it and wanted to share. I have been, I'm not much of a games on my phone kind of person, I'm just going to say. But I found this app that's called Treat. Have you guys heard of it? I may have mentioned it before, where you basically go in, you can pick from one of the participating shelters, because these are dog and cat shelters that are participating, and you kind of just play a little board game. Like, you get so many rolls in a certain amount of time, and you send your dog, because you adopt a dog from the shelter, you send them around the board game, and they collect kibble or they collect treats, and when their kibble bar is full, you can hit send, and if you are playing the free version, it sends however many treats you've acquired during that, and if you sponsor the dog, it sends the amount of kibble via dog food meals to that dog also. And when you sponsor them too, it sends them, there's different levels of, you can send the dogs 3 meals a day, you can send them 1 meal a day, just to make sure they're getting fed. And not that they ever go hungry, but shelters always need, well, I don't know if they ever go hungry actually, but I'd assume that they scrape together something. I've never worked at one. I should volunteer is what I should do. But anyway, the point is, you're feeding the dogs, right, and sending them the treats and stuff. And I actually, they tell you when this dog gets adopted and that kind of thing. And I've had 2 of my dogs get adopted since I started with this game. And after the second one, I decided to look up the actual shelter, which is called Noah Project in Muskegon, Michigan. It's fairly close to me, right? And I was looking at their website. They keep up with their website. They already had this dog as adopted because he was off of there, and he had previously been on there. I should say I have looked before at them. But when he got adopted, I decided to look them up there, and then I decided to look up their social media, because my local one has who adopted him. And it's not like I was stalking who adopted my dog. I just wanted to see if they were, doing social media stuff, right? And to say yeah, he got adopted, and he wasn't on there, but they have been, they probably were just a couple days behind or whatever, because they have been. This cat got adopted, this dog got adopted, like my local shelter does. I'm sure a lot of shelters do it. And I noticed while I was on there that they had put out a call, because they needed, at the time, that what they really needed was bleach, because they have a wish list of stuff that they need, like the Bat World Sanctuary did when I listed their Amazon wish list. So I'm actually going to list the Noah Project's wish list down below in case you're curious or feel like donating to someone. But I also saw that they had put out a call for, because they're getting a lot of puppies in at the shelter. They put out a call for blankets and towels and things like that. And I messaged them and I said, my shelter in town does not want crochet items, which is understandable. And I have a theory on that. And I said, but would you guys like crochet blankets? And they were so happy. Yes, they want them. They want them. They were so happy about it. And in fact, I even talked to one of the person I was talking to, via Facebook Messenger, was even asking me about crochet tutorials and things like that, because they're trying to learn to crochet. So that's pretty cool. And so I am putting together some blankets, and they told me that if there was like a certain dog I wanted to make sure got a certain blanket, that they would not only make sure they get them, but when the dog's adopted, they'll make sure it gets sent home with them. So I was really excited about that. Just, they're a no-kill shelter also, which is really important to me. They seem just genuinely good with their dogs. My theory with the crochet items, I sent a message on Facebook at like 10 o'clock at night, like on my break at work, and I didn't expect to hear anything back, and by 11 I had heard back from them, and then the next afternoon I did too. So like I think there are people there 24/7, which you may be like, duh, of course there are, but my shelter here in town, they don't have enough people to do that. At least that's what they said. Like nobody there wanted to do like an overnight shift, basically. So I think that they cannot use the crochet items because no matter how tight the stitch, there's always that chance that, you know, a little claw is going to get caught or a tooth's going to get caught, right? Or they're just going to eat it and unravel it and start unraveling the yarn. So like there needs to be better like supervision with that kind of thing. And if they leave them overnight with them and there's no one there, I think that this place has overnight care like also. So I kind of think, and maybe I'll just ask them if that's, you know, why they do it, because I want to make sure everything is like safe for the dogs and the cats and stuff. But I'm pretty excited at the thought of getting homemade items to these dogs and cats, and you know, give them like hopefully some comfort, you know, because I was thinking whenever I drop some stuff off, I could go like visit them and stuff, because I love visiting puppies and kittens. If you remember, that's how I ended up with Maverick and Otis, was I convinced David to go see the puppies at Halloween last year. And then Maverick was one of those puppies. So I have been working on some blankets for them, because I have some stuff here that I want to just send, but I have sponsored 2 dogs there currently, so I want to make sure that they get special blankets too, right? So I was looking up like tighter stitches, and I actually found a pet blanket that had the idea of being tighter with less, you know, opportunity for claws to catch and things like that. So I started a blanket. I started several. Even though I have other stuff I need to get done right now, this is like important to me, so I did it. I decided I would use, and it's another great way to use my yarn, you guys. This is halfway worked through, but this is one of the mandalas in ombre, and this one is Happy. Thought so. I chose it because of the bright colors and because the name was Happy, because, you know, I want to send some happiness, right? Now this is a pattern that Mikey from the Crochet Crowd had put out, and I believe it's just called Pet Blanket, because he's got like a cat size, a dog size, and then a human size on the tutorial. And it's like a Yarnspirations pattern that you can download, I believe. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's a lemon peel stitch. Like, that's the whole blanket is a lemon peel stitch, which isn't bad. I'm just saying, like, yes, it's a free pattern. Yes, you can go download it. Yes, you can watch the tutorial, especially if you've never used, you know, done a lemon peel stitch. I do have a tutorial myself for that also, if you are ever curious. It's on my tutorial playlist. But this is how this is how far I've gotten so far. In the camera, these 2 blues look like identical to me. They are not. This one is more like a sea blue, like a Caribbean sea type of blue, and this one is lighter blue. But you can't, maybe when I play it back or when you guys see it, it'll look different, because I noticed colors look a little different in, like, as I'm recording it as compared to how they end up looking. But yeah, this is what I got, and you can see it is a really tight stitch. It's even stretching it, there's not a lot of holes. I mean, there's always going to be opportunity though, right? So you want to be really careful. And yeah, I do want to talk to them about that when I go to drop them off, but I'm pretty excited nonetheless. And I talked to him, like they said, like the bigger yarns are the best. And I was like asking like how big, you know, because like I'd have to go get more of like 5-6 weight yarn if that's what they wanted. And I said I have a lot of 4-weight yarn, and they said 4-weight yarn is actually perfect, is what they were thinking when they said they just didn't want like sock yarn and things like that. So that is one of my blankets that I started. I'm pretty excited again, like I said, if you can't tell. And I started a second one because I wanted to play around with stitches, right? And I have multiple dogs that I want to get these to anyway, so I started it. I had this impeccable, it's just impeccable. It was just a newer color or whatever that it came out, but it's called Apricot Multi. Isn't that pretty too? I love this. It had several of these, and I made, what are you doing over there? One moment. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry, you can't have that. So the reason I said I had to make sure to monitor him is because he had a chunk like this of the clear coating off of his toy, which they've had these toys, like this is the 6th one, I think. Whatever the coating is okay for them. I mean, I'm not saying feed it to them. I'm saying if he gets a little of it, okay. But he tends to, he realized he can rip off big chunks of it, and they really like the center of it is the thing. So like I almost want to like take a knife, take off the chewy bit and just give them the center of it, because the center of it is like a really hard, like to gnaw for your teeth kind of thing. You know, just because you took it over there doesn't mean I won't find you. But yeah, anyway, sorry. So I had to monitor my dog. Speaking of monitoring dogs, right? Anyway, so I was playing around with stitches, and I wanted to also do something, and like for the first blanket that I just showed you, I used an H hook. I probably could have went down to a G hook, but this makes a pretty tight stitch with it, and that's what Mikey in his tutorial suggested too, was like an H hook with like a 4 or 5 weight yarn. I think he used Caron 1 pound or Caron Jumbo, so you know it's like kind of a bigger 4 weight yarn. Okay, yeah, you're making Mama nervous now. He looks so salty that I took that too. Like he does not want to forgive me right now. Anyway, so I was playing around with stitches, with tight stitches, and I made this moss stitch or linen stitch, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna go with moss stitch. Excuse me. I made, is this also called the blanket stitch? I don't remember if that's, I know that it has multiple names and things like that, but anyway, I made a granny square with that stitch. Isn't that pretty? Like, you know, I like these like neutrally colors. I would want to pair this with like something orange or whatever. I realized though, growing up at my grandma's, these colors, this like for the outside of my grandma's house, this is my grandma's. She had like a little guest house that was really like a little shed. It wasn't a shed, I mean it was a house, but it had like the laundry room was there as opposed to our house and that kind of thing. So it was just like an extension of the house just right across the yard basically. And that guest house, this is my grandma's guest house. Like 100%, no question. She had a yellow house with white trim, and there was like this light brown, like the apricot looking color in there. There was some of that in the trim. This is my grandma's guest house. Which kind of makes me love it even more, if I'm being honest. But I thought I have like 3 skeins of this, and at first I wanted to mix like a solid color in also and just do blocks, but then I thought I'm not making a queen size blanket, you guys, so maybe like this is 20 stitches across is what this is. Maybe I will just see how many of these I can get out of each one and just do a blanket that size and join it with a solid color. That's my thought on that. And these stitches are pretty tight too. I mean, again, they're just gonna have to be monitored because I wouldn't want any harm to come to any of the dogs or the cats. But yeah, I also plan to make some cat like mats or whatever. I thought that would be good for them, since that's, I believe, what they're using the towels for. Yeah, so I found a charity that I can work with. And if I can figure out any other crochet items, and any of you guys end up wanting to donate to them, I will let you know. I'm going to put up like their website and everything like that, just so you can check them out too. If you want to see the dogs that I adopted, right now I have Rustin and Sonia. So my little Timmy just got adopted, so I changed over to Sonia and I sponsored her. So just checking him out. So anyway, yeah, but I'm really excited. I have wanted to find a charity that I really could get behind, and I wanted so bad to do the Bat World Sanctuary, and they bats and their tiny little claws will just get caught up like flying, and that would be bad. So there's nothing that crochet wise that they could use. So hopefully Noah Project can use crochet things for a while. If they send them home with the dogs, then they'll probably be in need for quite a while. So, and the cats, so that'll be good. But anyway, all right, I am not going to keep you guys too long, like I said. Yeah, depending on how well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So I was gonna say, I will, yeah, I'll let you guys know if, should you guys want to help, how many more they need by the time I, get my stuff to them. Or if somebody's super interested, I mean, like I said, I'll just ask them if I can collect some donations for them, because that would be pretty cool. I'm really excited about the thought of that. So anyway, I will let you guys go. I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.